Have you ever woken up feeling drained, sluggish, like your spark has quietly dimmed, even though your routine hasn't changed at all? Many men desperately chase solutions, expensive supplements, trendy diets, or cutting-edge treatments, without realizing that the real culprit might be as simple and overlooked as the water they drink. It's not about the brand or type, but about the timing, the way, and the attention you give to every sip. This small, almost invisible action can dictate how much oxygen reaches your tissues, how efficiently your blood flows, and ultimately, how strong your body and sexual energy feel. Every single cell in your body relies on water to thrive, and when it's lacking, hormonal signals slow, nerves fire less efficiently, and circulation weakens. What's shocking is that most men don't notice this silent sabotage. The modern man, burdened with work, stress, and endless hours in front of screens, often mistakes thirst for proper hydration, and this tiny misstep quietly erodes vitality. Picture your body as a vast irrigation system. When water flows consistently and correctly, everything flourishes: your muscles, your mind, your drive. But if water is scarce, mismanaged, or delayed, the system dries, energy wanes, and the body falters. What I want to share isn't a miracle, but a hard truth of physiology. Your vigor starts with how well you nourish your body at the most basic level, and it begins with a mindful glass of water consumed with intention. Even today, men talk about health, yet overlook one of the simplest pillars: proper hydration. Silent dehydration is far more common than most realize, affecting millions, slowly draining energy without obvious signals. It isn't about feeling parched, but about a subtle, ongoing shortage that accumulates day after day. Men over 60, and even younger men like 45-year-old Mark, juggling stress-heavy jobs, live chronically dehydrated, their bodies learning to cope with scarcity as if drought were normal. The damage begins with small, everyday choices. Skipping that first morning glass, swapping it for coffee or energy drinks, going hours without fluids while working or commuting, and then attempting to compensate with a flood of liquid all at once. Each of these habits unbalances the body. Cells get too little water, blood thickens, tissues lose elasticity. The heart strains to circulate, and the blood supply to delicate areas, especially the pelvic region, suffers. Modern life piles on even more challenges. Air conditioning, endless stress, lack of sleep, and excess coffee or alcohol accelerate water loss silently. Even without thirst, your body may be crying out for hydration. This deficiency doesn't just show up as fatigue or dry skin, but sneaks into sexual energy, focus, and mood. Understanding silent dehydration means recognizing that health isn't just what you eat or how you move, it's how each cell is nourished with water. Ignoring it is like building on dry sand. Cracks inevitably appear, and in men, these cracks show as sluggish circulation, lower hormone levels, and fading vitality. When the body is underhydrated, every vital system feels it, from the brain to the heart, to the circulation itself. Water is the medium of life, the essential channel for nutrients, waste removal, and cellular balance. In shortage, the body shifts into silent survival mode, conserving what little it has, sacrificing performance. Blood thickens, the heart pumps harder, vessels constrict, and blood flow to extremities, and crucially, sexual organs, shrinks. Dehydration doesn't just drain energy, it sabotages the very way your body produces it. Adenosine triphosphate, the vital molecule that fuels every cell, loses efficiency, leaving you fatigued, foggy, and with dwindling sexual drive. Your brain interprets this shortage as exhaustion, triggering survival mode mechanisms instead of igniting desire. For men over 60, like 62-year-old David, this effect intensifies because the body's ability to hold onto water diminishes with age, and hormones like vasopressin, which regulate fluid balance, gradually lose their potency. Even mild, persistent dehydration can quietly interfere with testosterone production. Research shows that when the body is properly hydrated, hormones travel efficiently through the bloodstream and endocrine glands operate at their best. Without enough water, testosterone release slows, erectile tissue becomes less responsive, and sexual energy fades. It's no coincidence that men who experience persistent sexual fatigue often show hidden signs of chronic dehydration, unaware that this silent culprit is undermining them. The nervous system also bears the brunt. Neurons communicate through electrical impulses that rely on minerals dissolved in water, electrolytes. Without sufficient hydration, these signals weaken, slowing reaction time, memory, and coordination. This creates a downward spiral. The body feels sluggish, response is dull, motivation wanes. It's a silent, gradual process, yet fully reversible once one learns to hydrate intentionally and consistently. Specialists stress that the most critical moment to hydrate is immediately upon waking. After hours of sleep, your body has operated without a single drop of fluid, thickening the blood and slowing circulation. Overnight, water is used to repair tissues, regulate temperature, and expel waste through breath and sweat. That's why when you open your eyes, you're mildly dehydrated, even if it doesn't register consciously. Skipping hydration in the morning is like starting an engine without oil, forcing every system to struggle from the very first second. Experts explain that early morning is when the heart and kidneys are most sensitive. Without water, blood flow slows, blood pressure fluctuates, and energy and focus suffer. Sexual function is also affected because pelvic blood vessels need constant flow to remain elastic and responsive. Drinking water first thing restores balance, improves oxygen delivery, and primes the body for a day full of vitality and strength. Morning water is like an internal wake-up call. Within minutes, it jumpstarts digestion, activates the kidneys, and boosts brain circulation. This simple, deliberate habit packs immense power, especially for men determined to preserve peak physical and sexual performance. Urologists even consider it a preventive strategy, a natural way to support vascular health without medication. In everyday life, countless men have noticed a striking change when they begin the morning with a simple glass of warm or room temperature water. Energy spikes, digestion improves, mood brightens. This isn't symbolic, it's pure physiological effect. When the body receives water at the right moment, systems align, organs awaken, and processes synchronize. Experts emphasize it constantly. Before coffee, before breakfast, even before picking up your phone, the first gift your body needs is water. That small act can be the difference between a sluggish, heavy day and one brimming with vitality. Drinking water right after waking is far more than a routine. It is a deeply restorative ritual, igniting the body from its core. As water enters the digestive system, it triggers a cascade of responses: cleansing, stimulating, revitalizing. Some call it an internal shower, a process akin to a refreshing shower on the skin, but working at the cellular level. By consciously hydrating, the body begins flushing overnight toxins through the liver and kidneys, activating filtration systems that allow blood to circulate purer, lighter, and more energized. This simple habit also profoundly affects digestion and metabolism. A glass of warm water jumpstarts the stomach, signals the intestines to prepare for food, and enhances nutrient absorption. You're not just hydrating cells, you're setting your entire body up for a day in which each organ functions more efficiently. Men who adopt this habit, like 58-year-old Peter, often report within days a sharper mind, easier breathing, and a boost in physical energy, as if their bodies are quietly thanking them for this small but powerful act of care. The internal shower also embodies renewal. After hours of rest, tissues need a gentle nudge to reawaken circulation. Water performs this role naturally, expanding blood vessels, promoting capillary dilation, and increasing oxygen delivery to muscles, including those critical for sexual function. It's a simple, natural stimulus that doesn't require anything artificial, just allowing the water to do what it was designed to do. Drinking water in the morning shouldn't feel like an obligation, but a gesture of respect for your own body. Taking a few conscious seconds before rushing to coffee or checking your phone lets mind and body align. This moment of mindful pause connects physical and emotional health, reminding us that wellness isn't about grand gestures, but consistent, small habits. Ultimately, this internal shower cleanses not only the body, but also the mind, preparing the stage for a balanced, vibrant, fulfilling day. Yet, most men still do it incorrectly, often without realizing it. One common mistake is waiting until thirst appears. Thirst isn't preventive. It's a warning that dehydration is already present. At this point, cells are already underperforming, blood thickens, and energy drops. The male body, which relies on steady hydration to maintain muscle, focus, and sexual function, should never reach this alarm state. Water must be consumed deliberately, according to the body's natural rhythm, not just in reaction to thirst. Another frequent error is gulping large amounts at once. Many think hydration means filling the stomach quickly, but the body can only absorb water gradually. Overloading the system can strain the kidneys, dilute vital electrolytes, and create the opposite of the intended effect. It also slows digestion, causing bloating and discomfort. Ideally, water should be absorbed gradually, just as a plant receives a steady trickle, allowing every cell to thrive and function optimally. Just as a plant draws moisture gently from the soil, without forcing it, our bodies absorb water best when we respect its natural rhythm. Temperature matters far more than most men realize, and it is another common mistake. Many drink icy water, especially after exercise or in the heat, believing it will refresh faster. Yet very cold water constricts blood vessels, slows digestion, and can stress the nervous system. Water close to body temperature allows every cell to integrate it efficiently, fully nourishing your internal systems. Another overlooked habit is drinking large amounts during meals. While it seems harmless, it dilutes digestive juices, making it harder to break down proteins and fats. The ideal approach is to hydrate before or after eating, leaving at least 20 minutes for the stomach to maintain balance. Honoring this timing enhances digestion, optimizes nutrient absorption, and directly impacts energy levels and physical performance. Many men also forget to drink during the critical parts of the day, morning and mid-afternoon, when the body is most active. Instead, they load up on liquids at night, interrupting sleep with trips to the bathroom and disturbing natural hormonal rhythms. Learning to pace hydration throughout the day is a simple, yet immensely powerful key to consistent energy and vitality. The quality of water is equally important. Not all water is created equal, and its purity influences overall well-being. Water high in chlorine or heavy metals can affect gut flora and kidney function, while filtered or mineral water delivers vital micronutrients that support cellular health. Hydration is not just filling a glass, it's consciously nourishing every cell with quality, purpose, and awareness. Finding the right way to drink water isn't about rigid rules, but about understanding your body and listening to its signals. The ideal amount varies by weight, age, climate, activity level, and diet, yet a useful guideline is 2 to 3 liters daily, spread evenly from waking until late afternoon. Sipping slowly allows the body to absorb it naturally, maintaining a steady, life-giving flow throughout the day. The rhythm of drinking is almost as vital as the amount. Many men go hours without fluids, then attempt to make up for it with a large intake at once. This stresses the kidneys, reduces absorption, and wastes much of the water. The human body thrives on gradual hydration, like a steady stream feeding every cell. A glass every 2 or 3 hours keeps tissues lubricated, supports circulation, regulates temperature, and fuels both physical strength and sexual performance. Even temperature plays a crucial role. Cold water may feel refreshing, but frequent consumption forces the body to burn extra energy to maintain internal balance. Lukewarm or slightly warm water, particularly on an empty stomach or in the morning, is absorbed more easily and supports nutrient uptake. Many experts recommend starting the day this way, as it signals the internal organs to wake up and kickstart metabolism, preparing the body for a day of energy, focus, and vitality. Drinking with awareness also means considering the context. Hydration during a meal is very different from replenishing fluids after exercise or stepping out of a hot shower. In each scenario, the body's needs change. After a workout, for instance, you lose not only water, but essential minerals that must be replaced with the right balance of fluids and electrolytes. During meals, however, small, careful sips are best to avoid slowing digestion. Recognizing these moments and responding with the proper type and amount of water can create a noticeable shift in energy and vitality throughout the day. The quality of the water is equally crucial. Whenever possible, opt for filtered or natural mineral water, free from impurities and balanced in essential minerals. Not all bottled water is equal. Many lack adequate mineral content or have been processed in ways that alter their natural structure. Choosing a reliable source or investing in a high-quality filter is more than hydration. It is a deliberate act of long-term self-care and health preservation. When quantity, temperature, and rhythm align, drinking water transforms into a conscious, rejuvenating ritual. A consistent habit triggers tangible benefits: more energy, firmer skin, smoother circulation, and sharper mental clarity. Concentration rises, mood stabilizes, and the body responds with vitality. This subtle, yet potent balance is a natural shield, quietly supporting male health and mitigating issues often blamed on aging. Water does more than quench thirst, it nourishes every system. Each sip delivers minerals, invisible yet essential, that govern energy production, mental acuity, and the male body's ability to function with strength and equilibrium. Without them, hydration is incomplete, like starting an engine with insufficient fuel. When minerals are present in the correct balance, each cell maintains electrical stability, internal communication, and regenerative capacity. Minerals act as crucial messengers, facilitating chemical reactions, transporting nutrients, stabilizing blood pressure, and balancing fluids inside and outside cells. For men, these roles are even more significant because they directly impact hormone production and muscle function, including the vascular system responsible for erections. Mineral-rich hydration enhances not only physical energy, but sexual vitality. Many older men, like 64-year-old Richard or 59-year-old Tom, experiencing fatigue or diminished desire, fail to realize that inadequate minerals in their diet and water may be partially to blame. Key minerals include magnesium, sodium, potassium, calcium, and zinc. Magnesium relaxes muscles, supports circulation, and contributes to restful sleep and physical performance. Potassium maintains nerve function, balances fluids in cells, prevents cramps, and aids muscle recovery after exertion. Sodium, often misunderstood, is essential in proper amounts for fluid balance and nerve signaling. Without it, the body's electrical energy drops, leaving constant weakness. Calcium and zinc complete this essential set. Calcium strengthens bones, aids muscle contraction, and assists hormone release. Zinc is pivotal for testosterone production and sustaining healthy sexual function. A deficiency can cause fatigue, low desire, and even reduced semen volume. Maintaining adequate zinc and magnesium is a natural, powerful strategy to preserve male potency without medications, quietly fortifying energy, vitality, and drive. A practical way to secure essential minerals is simple. Choose natural mineral water or add a pinch of unrefined sea salt to filtered water. This small step can restore electrolyte balance, particularly for men who sweat heavily, exercise regularly, or live in warm climates. Pairing hydration with mineral-rich foods like nuts, seeds, leafy greens, or tropical fruits, such as bananas, transforms drinking water from a routine act into a complete strategy for health and vitality. Ultimately, the secret to optimal male hydration isn't just quantity, it's quality. Every glass of water rich in the right minerals fuels the heart, muscles, brain, and intimate life. It is a natural, potent way to reconnect with the vital energy that defines a man at his full potential, energy that is often lost through neglect or ignorance. The balance of sodium, magnesium, and potassium is one of the least appreciated yet most critical factors for male energy and sexual health. These three minerals function like an internal electrical system, enabling cells to communicate, muscles to contract, and blood to surge efficiently where it is needed. A natural, strong erection depends not only on hormones or desire, but on the body's ability to maintain this constant bioelectric flow. When any one of these minerals is missing or out of balance, the entire circuit falters, affecting sexual performance, focus, mood, and overall vitality. Sodium, though often demonized for its link to high blood pressure, plays a vital role. It maintains blood volume and ensures nerve signals reach muscles correctly. In the right amounts, it supports muscular contraction and the electrical impulses necessary for arousal. Too much sodium, however, leads to fluid retention and vessel constriction, reducing circulation to sensitive areas, including the pelvic region. The key is not elimination, but regulation, ideally through natural sources like unrefined sea salt or low-sodium mineral water. Magnesium is the mineral of calm, essential for muscle relaxation and stress reduction, making it a critical ally for sexual energy and erections. Men with adequate magnesium respond better to stimulation, maintain smoother circulation, and benefit from its role in over 300 enzymatic reactions, many tied to energy production and hormone regulation. A lack of magnesium manifests as fatigue, irritability, sleep problems, and reduced desire, common, often unnoticed issues in middle-aged and older men, directly impacting intimate performance. Potassium completes this vital triangle. It balances fluids inside and outside cells, regulates muscle contractions, especially in the heart, and supports steady, efficient circulation, crucial for erectile function. Potassium also counteracts excess sodium, reduces fluid retention, and aids kidney function. Low potassium leads to energy drops, tight muscles, and slower responsiveness during arousal. When sodium, magnesium, and potassium are in harmony, they function like a perfectly tuned orchestra. Sodium sets the rhythm, potassium balances the tones, and magnesium provides the calm that allows everything to flow. A man who maintains this balance experiences not only stronger sexual performance, but steady emotional resilience and sustained vitality. Paying attention to diet and the quality of water is a direct investment in male health. Including natural foods such as avocados, nuts, legumes, and green vegetables, together with mindful hydration, can profoundly enhance both physical and sexual well-being. Ultimately, the real secret isn't chasing quick fixes, but understanding that true vitality springs from balance. Sodium, magnesium, and potassium are three interlocking pieces of the same system that sustain male energy, and caring for them means supporting the heart, mind, and sexual function all at once. The connection between hydration and sexual potency is backed by solid science, yet often overlooked. When a man is properly hydrated, blood flows smoothly, and cells receive the oxygen and nutrients they need to thrive. The penis, like any other organ, relies on this circulation to achieve and maintain a firm erection. This depends on vasodilation, the natural widening of blood vessels, which allows more blood to pass through. Nitric oxide, the key molecule that triggers this process, drops dramatically when the body lacks sufficient water. Without enough of it, erections become weaker, slower to develop, or inconsistent. Water, therefore, is not just a thirst quencher. It is the vital carrier of the components necessary for this process. Studies from leading institutions such as Harvard and Stanford have shown that even mild dehydration can reduce penile blood flow by more than 20%. While that number may sound modest, it is enough to noticeably impact firmness and duration. Dehydration also thickens blood, forcing the heart to work harder, which intensifies fatigue and diminishes both physical and sexual performance. But science goes further. Proper hydration supports testosterone production, the hormone that drives sexual desire, muscle mass, and male vitality. When the body is dehydrated, the endocrine system senses stress and elevates cortisol, which blocks testosterone. This explains why many men experience low energy or diminished desire without realizing that the underlying cause may be something as simple as insufficient water. Maintaining steady hydration helps the body preserve hormonal balance, mitigating stress effects and enhancing sexual responsiveness. At the cellular level, water directly fuels energy production. Every cell relies on hydration to perform metabolic functions, including ADP synthesis, the body's immediate energy source. Without enough water, these processes slow, causing fatigue, poor concentration, and reduced libido. Water also helps flush toxins through the liver and kidneys, preventing accumulation that can impair hormones or damage blood vessels. In other words, a well-hydrated body functions more efficiently, both physically and internally, keeping systems clean and responsive. Experts in men's health agree consistent hydration is one of the simplest, most effective ways to prevent mild or moderate erectile dysfunction. While it doesn't replace medical treatment in severe cases, it enhances therapy outcomes by improving circulation and metabolism. Many urologists recommend adopting conscious hydration habits as part of comprehensive sexual wellness care. Drinking water at regular intervals, ideally at room temperature, can be as potent as any supplement or medication, if done consistently and with intention. Finally, hydration profoundly impacts the mind. A well-hydrated brain supports concentration, mood, and memory, translating into greater confidence, reduced anxiety, and better performance in all areas of life, including intimacy. Sexual potency, then, is not just a physical matter, but a mental and emotional one. In that delicate balance between body and mind, water acts as the invisible thread connecting every system. Caring for hydration is, ultimately, caring for the very foundation of male vitality, energy, and drive. Breathing is one of the most powerful yet overlooked mechanisms in the male body. Conscious breathing doesn't just deliver oxygen to your tissues, it directly influences the strength of erections, sexual energy, and the ability to remain calm during intimate moments. Many men, especially in stressful or anxious situations, breathe shallowly, quickly, and irregularly. This limited oxygen supply constricts blood flow, diminishes energy, and reduces overall vitality. By contrast, slow, deep, rhythmic breathing acts like a master key, opening the body from within, boosting circulation, and calming the mind. Practicing conscious breathing means learning to inhale fully, expanding the lungs from the abdomen rather than just the chest. As the diaphragm descends, it massages internal organs, stimulates blood flow, and aids in toxin elimination. Blood becomes richer in oxygen, energy production surges, and muscles, including those crucial pelvic muscles involved in erections and ejaculatory control, function optimally. Proper breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for pleasure, rest, and digestion, creating the ideal environment for peak sexual performance. Studies consistently show that deep breathing lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, while increasing nitric oxide, the same molecule that triggers vasodilation necessary for firm erections. In this way, conscious breathing becomes as effective as any supplement or therapy. When the body is fully oxygenated, the mind clears, thoughts organize, and focus sharpens. This state of mental balance is essential for connecting with your own body and with a partner, free from distractions or insecurities. During intimacy, many men unconsciously hold their breath at moments of arousal or tension, believing it grants control. In reality, it does the opposite. Blood flow slows, the heart races, and fatigue comes sooner. Learning to maintain steady, smooth breathing during sexual activity improves endurance and intensifies every sensation. Conscious breathing teaches presence, slow enjoyment, and natural prolongation of pleasure without forcing the body or depending on external aids. Regular practice of exercises like diaphragmatic breathing or pranayama strengthens control over the autonomic nervous system, which governs involuntary functions like heart rate and blood pressure, key elements of sexual performance. Through conscious breathing, a man can master his physiological reactions, transforming anxiety into calm and tension into energy. This skill, honed daily, translates into greater confidence and a deeper connection with the body. Conscious breathing also carries a profound emotional impact. By better oxygenating the brain, it balances emotions and reduces the stress and frustration common in modern life. Men who breathe with awareness feel calmer, more focused, and better able to respond to challenges, both in and out of intimacy. In this way, breathing nourishes not only the body, but also the mind and spirit, becoming a silent yet powerful source of energy, pleasure, and vitality, Stress is one of the most silent yet destructive enemies of male sexual health. When the body is trapped in a constant state of tension, it triggers survival mechanisms that prioritize defense over pleasure. In essence, the brain interprets rush, anxiety, or worries as threats, automatically lowering sexual desire and weakening the body's responsiveness. For modern men, constantly balancing work, family, and personal responsibilities, this state of alert has become almost normal, but its effects are profound and far-reaching. Chronic stress floods the body with cortisol and adrenaline, hormones meant to prepare for danger. While small doses can be useful, prolonged elevation disrupts testosterone production, the key hormone for energy, vitality, and sexual function. Reduced testosterone gradually diminishes desire, hinders the ability to maintain firm erections, and creates a pervasive sense of physical and mental exhaustion. Excess cortisol also impairs sleep, and without restorative rest, the body cannot replenish hormones or repair tissues effectively. Rushing plays a critical role as well. Eating quickly, sleeping little, moving at full speed, and neglecting moments to breathe keeps the sympathetic nervous system, the one controlling action and tension, hyperactive. This prevents the parasympathetic system, which governs relaxation, digestion, cellular repair, and sexual enjoyment, from activating properly. In this state of constant agitation, the body cannot achieve the balance needed for desire or performance. The mind feels scattered, and intimacy becomes mechanical, devoid of connection and pleasure. Specialists in urology and psychology agree, emotional stress is among the leading causes of temporary erectile dysfunction. It is not only a physical issue, but also a psychological one. Worrying about performance, fearing failure, or feeling inadequate creates a vicious cycle. The more one focuses on the problem, the more tension arises, which prevents the body from responding naturally. Breaking this cycle requires regaining inner calm, slowing down life's pace, and reconnecting with breath and presence. A clear example is men who, after a hectic day, attempt intimacy without first relaxing their body or mind. In these moments, the mind remains racing, the heart pounds, and muscles stay tight. Blood cannot flow properly to the sexual organs, making erections difficult or impossible. That is why preparatory relaxation practices, such as warm showers, deep breathing, or gentle stretching, are so effective, allowing the body to release tension and reopen fully to pleasure. Stress doesn't only affect the present, it threatens long-term male health. Over time, it keeps the body in a state of low-grade inflammation, accelerating cellular aging and raising risks of cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, and metabolic disorders, all of which directly compromise erectile function. Learning to manage stress is not a luxury, but an essential strategy to preserve sexual, emotional, and physical well-being. Restoring balance doesn't mean eliminating stress entirely. That's impossible in modern life, but learning to control it. Small daily habits, like walking in silence, disconnecting from screens before bed, or practicing deep breathing every morning, can transform a man's relationship with his body. As stress diminishes, circulation improves, the mind clears, and desire naturally returns. Sexuality flows once again as an expression of vitality and pleasure, not a chore or a performance to achieve. Over the years, the male body undergoes profound transformations that affect not just appearance, but also organ function, energy reserves, and recovery capacity. One of the most decisive factors in this process is hydration. As men age, the sensation of thirst diminishes, often causing them, without realizing it, to drink less water than their body truly needs. This slow, silent dehydration weakens tissues, slows metabolism, and promotes fatigue, muscle soreness, dry skin, and circulatory issues. All of this adds up to a gradual loss of vitality, frequently mistaken as normal aging, when in reality, the body is signaling a simple, yet critical, need for water. The link between water and aging in men is far more direct than commonly understood. Water serves as an internal buffer, protecting cells from oxidative damage, lubricating joints, and maintaining tissue and skin elasticity. When hydration is insufficient, cells cannot efficiently eliminate toxins or absorb nutrients necessary for repair and regeneration. This accelerates internal wear and tear, leaving the body feeling heavy, slowing mental sharpness, and reducing physical performance, including sexual function. A dehydrated man ages faster because his body is constantly operating under scarcity, and that deficit directly saps his vital energy. Hydration also plays a critical role in hormones. Testosterone, which naturally declines with age, is further hampered when the body lacks sufficient water. Blood thickens, circulation slows, and nutrients struggle to reach reproductive organs. This combination contributes to lower libido, delayed muscle recovery, and persistent fatigue. Male health experts often highlight that maintaining consistent, conscious hydration is one of the pillars of preserving youth, vigor, and vitality. Water doesn't only impact the body, it powers the mind. Dehydration affects concentration, memory, and mood directly. Older men who drink too little often experience irritability, anxiety, or mental fog, symptoms easily blamed on age, but often improved with proper hydration. A well-hydrated brain functions more sharply, makes quicker decisions, and supports a more positive, confident approach to life. Healthy aging is shaped not by genetics alone, but by daily choices. Consistently drinking water, eating a balanced diet, limiting alcohol, and following restorative sleep routines all slow the body's natural decline. Even outward appearances reflect this balance. A hydrated man shows firmer skin, a brighter gaze, and an energy that radiates confidence and vitality. Water, in essence, doesn't just prolong life, it enriches every day lived. Experts advise older men to reconnect with their sense of thirst and establish regular drinking habits, even when they don't feel thirsty. This conscious practice can profoundly influence how the body ages, adding life to the years, not just years to life. Hydration is among the simplest, most affordable, and most powerful tools to maintain internal youth, mental clarity, and the strength that defines a vital, active, and fulfilled man. As men age, the body gradually loses some of its natural ability to retain water, and this decline often goes unnoticed until symptoms appear. Dehydration in older men rarely manifests as thirst. Instead, it shows subtler signs often mistaken for other age-related issues. Dry, less elastic skin, chapped lips, or a sticky mouth are early warnings that the body needs more fluids. Lower urine volume or darker color is also common, signaling that the kidneys are working overtime to conserve water. Beyond these visible signs, dehydration directly impacts cognitive performance. An older man who drinks too little may feel confused, slightly disoriented, or struggle to concentrate and recall details. This mental fog, often attributed to aging, can improve significantly with proper hydration. Since the brain is largely composed of water, it requires a constant flow of fluids to maintain active neural connections and the chemical balance that regulates mood, focus, and clarity. A dehydrated mind is slower, less efficient, and less capable of sustaining vitality. Another quiet but telling sign of dehydration is persistent fatigue. When the body lacks sufficient water, the heart must strain to pump blood, leaving a man feeling drained even without heavy physical activity. Joints also suffer as the lubricating synovial fluid diminishes, causing stiffness, discomfort, and difficulty moving. For older men, these aches may appear as an unavoidable part of aging, yet in many cases, proper hydration restores flexibility and relief within just a few days. Digestive function is affected as well. Constipation, slow digestion, or a lingering feeling of heaviness after meals are all signs that the intestines are not receiving enough water to operate efficiently. Water dissolves nutrients, transports waste, and maintains internal pH balance. Without it, the body shifts into a conservation mode that slows digestion and disrupts gut flora, creating discomfort that feels persistent and exhausting. The cardiovascular system is equally impacted. Chronic dehydration thickens the blood, making circulation more difficult and potentially raising blood pressure. This poses a serious risk for older men, particularly those with pre-existing heart conditions. Maintaining steady hydration improves blood flow, helps regulate body temperature, reduces dizziness upon standing, and promotes deeper, more restorative sleep. Recognizing these subtle warning signs is critical to avoiding more serious complications. Often, simply increasing water intake gradually throughout the day, preferably between meals, is enough to notice significant improvements in energy, mood, and overall well-being. Experts in male health consistently affirm that many age-related issues affecting quality of life trace back to insufficient hydration. Drinking water mindfully, therefore, becomes a simple yet profound act of self-care, the difference between aging with limitations and thriving in active, fulfilling maturity. However, water must be consumed wisely. Excessive intake, though seemingly healthy, can upset the body's natural balance and lead to a condition called hyponatremia, where sodium levels in the blood become dangerously diluted. This imbalance impairs cellular function, especially in the brain, causing dizziness, confusion, headaches, and, in extreme cases, fainting or seizures. Health professionals recommend treating hydration as a conscious, moderate routine that meets the body's true needs, rather than a mindless obsession. The body has precise mechanisms to regulate fluid requirements, and learning to listen to them is essential. Thirst, though often ignored or postponed, remains the most reliable signal that it's time to drink. Yet some men, in their effort to adopt healthier habits, overcompensate, consuming large amounts of water in a short time, believing it will flush out toxins faster. What they fail to realize is that this behavior can strain the kidneys, deplete essential minerals, and weaken the nervous and muscular systems. Excessive hydration also puts unnecessary stress on the kidneys, which must continuously filter the surplus water. Over time, this can lead to renal fatigue, a risk particularly concerning for older men or those with pre-existing kidney conditions. Instead of supporting vitality, overhydration can create fatigue, swelling, and general metabolic imbalance, turning a healthy habit into a potential danger. Water temperature matters more than most men realize. Many believe that gulping very cold water, especially after intense exercise, will cool the body faster, but this can actually trigger internal thermal shock and slow digestion. The body absorbs water most effectively when it is taken gradually, at a temperature that supports thermal balance. That's why the wisest approach is to sip water slowly at room temperature, spreading intake evenly throughout the day. Hydration is not only about volume, it's about integration. Foods high in water content, like cucumbers, watermelon, or oranges, naturally enhance hydration while delivering essential vitamins and antioxidants. Including these foods in the diet supports stable, sustainable hydration without overwhelming the system. It's also crucial to understand that the perfect amount of water differs from man to man, depending on age, body weight, climate, and activity level. There is no universal magic number, though general guidance often suggests 1.5 to 2 liters daily. Observing the body's signals, urine color, energy levels, overall vitality, offers far more precise insight than any rigid measurement ever could. Balance, ultimately, is the key. Drinking consciously, without rushing or overdoing it, is an act of respect for the body. Every sip becomes a moment of harmony, not a race toward an arbitrary goal. In later life, learning to hydrate intelligently protects health, preserves vitality, and sharpens mental clarity. Water, when consumed mindfully and in moderation, becomes a silent yet powerful ally for longevity. True hydration is not achieved in a single moment, but through consistent daily habits that, over time, support the body's natural vitality. Every routine action can become an opportunity to nurture internal balance, and the secret lies in consistency. Drinking water regularly, tuning into the body's signals, and establishing a conscious intake rhythm form the foundation for long-term physical and mental well-being for the modern man. One of the simplest yet most effective habits is starting the day with a glass of room temperature water before any food or stimulating drink. This small gesture gently ignites the digestive system and kickstarts the elimination of toxins accumulated overnight. It's not merely hydration. It's awakening internal organs, preparing the body to absorb nutrients and instilling freshness and clarity that echo in a sharper mind and improved mood. Throughout the day, keeping a bottle of water within reach prevents the slow, often unnoticed decline of hydration. There is no need to gulp large volumes at once. The ideal strategy is frequent, small sips. This steady flow nourishes cells, keeps tissues lubricated, and maintains energy, especially for men who spend hours in front of screens or in air-conditioned spaces, where fluid loss accelerates silently. It's equally important to adjust water intake to match activity and environmental conditions. A man exercising or working outdoors must compensate for sweat losses, drinking before, during, and after physical effort to maintain muscle endurance and avoid cramps or fatigue. Yet, hydration must be intelligent. Sudden overconsumption can be as counterproductive as neglecting it. The key is to anticipate thirst, listen carefully to the body, and hydrate steadily, allowing every cell to function at its best. Nighttime rest plays a crucial, often overlooked role in maintaining proper hydration. While many men avoid drinking water before bed to prevent waking at night, a small glass before sleep and another upon waking can make a profound difference. This simple ritual supports cellular regeneration and helps maintain balanced circulation throughout the night. Even while we sleep, the kidneys continue their work, and adequate water allows them to function efficiently without being overloaded. Hydration extends beyond plain water. Gentle infusions, like green tea or chamomile, provide fluids along with valuable antioxidants. Incorporating water-rich fruits, such as watermelon, melon, or oranges, further supports daily hydration. These foods do more than quench thirst. They provide essential vitamins and minerals that strengthen the immune system, nourish the skin, and enhance overall vitality. Every mindful choice counts, and small, consistent actions compound into real, lasting change. Maintaining optimal hydration also requires cultivating a constant awareness of one's body. Learning to distinguish between true thirst and hunger, responding intuitively to signals, and drinking deliberately are acts of self-respect. Daily discipline is not imposed through effort, but through understanding that hydration is energy in motion. Each sip is a quiet reminder that caring for oneself is an act of honor, and consistency in these habits can profoundly transform a man's health and vitality. Hydration is shaped not only by the water we drink, but also by the foods and beverages we choose every day. Nutrition and hydration are deeply intertwined, yet many men overlook this connection. Certain foods naturally support fluid balance, while others subtly accelerate water loss. Recognizing this dynamic is essential for maintaining internal equilibrium, especially in men whose fast-paced lifestyle, irregular meals, and work demands often disrupt the delicate balance of hydration. Fresh fruits and vegetables serve as silent yet powerful reservoirs of biologically available water, a form the body absorbs effortlessly. Cucumbers, watermelon, oranges, apples, and lettuce contain high amounts of structured water, accompanied by vitamins and minerals that enhance absorption. Incorporating these foods daily, particularly during hot weather or after physical activity, sustains hydration without relying solely on liquids. Additionally, their fiber content aids digestion and helps retain natural moisture within the gut. Light soups, vegetable broths, and herbal infusions further reinforce hydration. Consumed during or between meals, they act as subtle allies, replenishing fluids while supplying electrolytes that support kidney function. The key is moderation. Too much sodium disrupts hydration and encourages water retention, whereas a balanced diet rich in fresh vegetables helps maintain healthy blood pressure, steady energy, and overall resilience. Conversely, certain foods and beverages quietly sabotage hydration. Alcohol acts as a diuretic, accelerating fluid loss and creating a false sense of satiety. Coffee and other caffeinated drinks, though beneficial in moderation, can impair kidney function and deplete essential minerals when consumed excessively. Refined sugar, present in soft drinks and industrial juices, also disrupts fluid balance, as the body requires extra water to metabolize it. Diets heavy in processed foods, cured meats, and fast food exacerbate the problem further. These foods not only lack natural water, but often contain high sodium and additives that stress the kidneys. The result is chronic fatigue, bloating, and mental fog, all silently eroding vitality. Changing this pattern does not demand extreme sacrifice, only awareness and consistency. Replacing a sugary drink with water flavored with a few drops of lemon, or choosing fresh fruit over a packaged dessert, are small, deliberate actions that, repeated day after day, can transform long-term well-being. It's also crucial to understand that the temperature and context in which we consume our foods directly affect hydration. On scorching days, choosing light, fresh meals helps preserve internal balance and keeps the body functioning smoothly. In colder periods, warm soups, broths, or mild teas quietly support the body's hydration needs without placing extra stress on internal systems. The human body always seeks equilibrium, and when nutrition is chosen mindfully, it becomes a powerful ally in maintaining energy, strength, and vitality. Finally, seeing hydration not as a standalone act, but as part of a harmonious symphony where both water and food play key roles, allows men to approach their health in a more holistic way. Every bite and every sip influence energy, performance, and mood. Men who begin to notice how their bodies respond to different foods can enhance not only physical vitality, but also mental clarity, sleep quality, and emotional stability. Eating and hydrating with awareness is not a fleeting trend. It is a profound act of respect toward the body, a way to honor oneself and preserve full potential at any age. For far too long, self-care has been culturally framed as primarily a female pursuit, but in recent years, men have started realizing that caring for oneself is not a weakness. It is a demonstration of wisdom, experience, and maturity. Male self-care extends far beyond appearance. It encompasses total health, body, mind, and vital energy. A man who listens to himself, attends to his needs, and respects his natural rhythms becomes stronger, more resilient, and more vital. This shift in mindset is a silent revolution, quietly transforming health, well-being, and quality of life from the inside out. Caring for the body is never a luxury. It is a responsibility. Every daily choice, from the water consumed to the rest allowed, directly affects physical performance, mental clarity, and emotional balance. Many men discover that by embracing self-care habits, they gain not only energy, but a renewed sense of focus, composure, and equilibrium. Simple actions like sleeping well, eating thoughtfully, and hydrating consistently become deeply restorative rituals. The body does not demand perfection, only respect, attention, and consistency. Listening to its signals prevents wear and tear and preserves the vitality that defines active, fulfilled men. Self-care also nurtures emotional well-being. Men are often conditioned to endure silently, to hide fatigue, or to suppress vulnerability, but this mindset accumulates tension and disconnects them from their own bodies. Practicing self-care means recognizing that mental and emotional health are as critical as physical health. Moments of silence, deep breathing, or activities that spark joy and calm, such as walking, reading, or spending time in nature, directly support sexual energy, cardiovascular health, and hormonal balance. Caring for the soul, in essence, strengthens the body. Another pillar of male self-care is prevention. Many men only consult specialists once a problem has already emerged, but true well-being lies in anticipation. Routine checkups, consultations with nutrition or urology experts, and monitoring hydration, blood pressure, and hormone levels protect against the silent, cumulative damage that can erode vitality and sexual desire over time. Prevention is an act of respect, not just for oneself, but for loved ones, ensuring strength, autonomy, and a full life for many more years. The environment also shapes self-care. Surrounding oneself with people who value health, balance, and conscious living reinforces positive habits. Men who support each other in these practices find that sharing experiences strengthens discipline, motivation, and commitment. Speaking openly about health, emotions, or bodily changes should no longer be taboo. It is a mark of evolution. In its deepest sense, self-care is a form of inner leadership, a deliberate, daily act of taking control of one's life, cultivating vitality, and transforming oneself from the inside out. Caring for oneself does not mean becoming rigid or obsessive. It is about discovering a delicate balance between discipline and pleasure, between effort and compassion. A man who truly cares for himself learns to harmonize exertion with rest, action with pause, creating a rhythm that resonates throughout every aspect of life. This inner balance reflects in daily energy, mental clarity, confidence, and naturally, in sexual vitality. Self-care is, at its core, an act of self-love, a quiet affirmation that health, strength, and serenity are not luxuries, but rights to nurture every single day. Sometimes, numbers, charts, and advice cannot capture the transformative power of lived experience. That is why hearing stories of men who chose to redefine their relationship with water, health, and their own bodies is invaluable. Take Javier, 48, who spent long hours hunched over a computer, watching his energy drain by midday. Headaches, fatigue, and waning desire had become routine. A simple realization changed everything: chronic dehydration. Javier rarely drank water, favoring coffee and sugary beverages. By adopting one simple habit, 2 glasses of water immediately upon waking, and keeping a bottle within reach throughout the day, he saw profound changes. Within weeks, sleep improved, focus sharpened, and vitality surged back into his life. A small habit revealed itself as a life-altering solution. Then there's Luis, 55, noticing joint stiffness, low energy, and a creeping sense of decline. He had accepted it as part of aging until he learned that his diet was excessively salty and that he was not replenishing essential minerals. Luis introduced a pinch of sea salt and lemon to his morning water and incorporated potassium-rich fruits like bananas and avocados into his meals. Within a month, fatigue eased, skin brightened, and sexual desire returned. He realized that water is far more than a thirst quencher. It is a vehicle for energy, balance, and life itself. Martin, 62, offers another vivid example. Years of work and personal stress had left his body depleted, slow digestion, aching muscles, and scattered concentration. Martin embraced a structured self-care routine, including the internal shower of warm, mineral-rich water on an empty stomach, combined with conscious, slow breathing. Within 3 months, his energy was transformed. Proper hydration, paired with mindful breathing and calm, reshaped his physical and mental performance, proving that even subtle habits can ripple into remarkable results. These stories, though illustrative, mirror real-life experiences countless men face without recognizing the cause. Dehydration, poor nutrition, and neglect of personal needs create cycles of exhaustion that can be broken with small, consistent actions. It is not about miraculous shortcuts, but about coherence, patience, and daily commitment. Every mindful sip, every intentional pause, every choice to care for oneself accumulates, slowly but powerfully. Men who embrace these changes discover that energy, clarity, and vitality are not reserved for youth. They are the natural reward of dedication to oneself. Transformation is not limited to a select few. Any man at any age can begin again. The body's capacity to recover is extraordinary when given what it truly needs. In hydration, results are quick. Circulation improves, skin revitalizes, the mind sharpens, and desire naturally awakens. These examples demonstrate a simple truth. Change begins with a conscious gesture as ordinary as drinking water, but its impact can mark the start of a profound, renewed chapter of life, full of vigor, confidence, and fulfillment. Life is shaped by countless small choices, subtle decisions that, over time, define the course of our existence. Drinking water may appear ordinary, almost automatic, yet within that simple gesture lies a profound instrument of transformation. Each drop entering the body does far more than hydrate. It renews energy, cleanses internal organs, and awakens the senses. It is a powerful reminder that true health is not the result of grand sacrifices, but of consistent attention to the smallest details. When a man embraces conscious hydration, he is doing more than quenching thirst. He is honoring his body, acknowledging that vitality, mental clarity, and emotional balance all begin with the most essential element: water. This connection to life's purest substance carries both physical and symbolic meaning. It is a return to oneself, a reconnection with the essence of living, the part of being that seeks to flow, purify, and regenerate. Science validates this, yet daily experience confirms it even more vividly. Men who make mindful hydration a habit notice a tangible shift in their well-being. Muscles feel energized, minds become sharper, and sexual vitality finds a natural equilibrium. It is not about mindless repetition, but intention, recognizing that each glass of water is an opportunity to restore the body and revive its inherent balance. This subtle change ripples through every moment of life. Mornings transform from a struggle against fatigue into a gentle awakening of clarity and strength. Afternoons no longer collapse under tiredness, but extend with sustained energy. Nights become true periods of recovery, allowing the body to restore itself fully. And it all begins with one simple gesture: drinking water at the right time, with awareness and presence. Conscious hydration, in the end, is more than physical. It is self-care, a silent act of respect toward oneself and toward the life flowing within every cell. Male well-being does not come from extremes or quick fixes. It emerges from consistent, thoughtful habits that maintain the body's natural harmony. Every drop matters, and every day offers the choice to honor your own vitality. Just as water flows effortlessly, carving paths even through the hardest stone, so too can you rebuild your energy, recover your vigor, and reconnect with your inner power. There is no need for drastic overhauls. Simply fill a glass, take a mindful sip, and feel the life-giving freshness travel through every fiber of your body. This is the final invitation. Drink with intention, live in harmony, and remember that your energy, health, and strength are nourished by one simple, yet profound truth: every drop counts.